Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Best Friends with Benefits. I am Noni,
I'm Kristen.
and we are excited to be back with you guys. This is Best Friends with Benefits, where every single week we're giving you a brand new benefit, and it's all so that you can live the best life that you can. Right?
Mhm.
We're not on here selling seminars about how to make $1 million of passive income. Okay. We are here. We are real life. We are two women in our 40s. We have lived, we have loved, we have made the mistakes, and we share them all candidly here. As best friends, we've been friends for 12 years. We've been through it in and out. So we have some words of wisdom. And today I had this thought um, the other day, Chris, and I feel like we're all trapped in the comparison game, the IG comparison game, and like it has us stuck in a place where we cannot be happy with where we are. And I had the thought of if we look at money, if we look at what our bodies need to look like, if we look at our lives, how much money do you really need in your life to be happy? I feel like most of us, if we had enough that we didn't have to worry about paying our bills, we can go on a vacation. Like I feel like most of us would be happy, but there was this trend on IG of like your bank account is $12 million and da 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 da. I'm just like, and then all this influx of all these YouTube channels popping up. You can make your own hours. You could be driving a Ferrari. You can, have millions of dollars of passive income. It's just like these people are making so much money solely on the aspiration of people wanting to have that lifestyle, not because it really works, right? Because if I have millions and millions of dollars, am I really spending time trying to hustle other people to take my course? No, I want a beach somewhere.
Oh no, exactly.
People are not really making that money, but I think it really speaks to like the culture now of like people look down on 9 to 5s.
Yep.
The whole like influx of everybody wanting to be an entrepreneur. And entrepreneurs, it's a hard business. That is not easy. If you don't work, you don't make money. There's nothing wrong with having a 9 to 5 that no matter what kind of week you had, you get a direct deposit, child. You get health benefits, you get a
Yep.
401k. And I just wonder how many of us are thinking about how much we really need to be happy. And are we in this endless cycle of chasing a carrot of, well, when I get this, then I'll be happy. And when I get this, or when I look like this person, can I be happy? I don't know. What do you think?
I love what you're saying because I've had the experience of not having any money in my bank account and still being happy. Like still having, oh my God, I have everything I want, like things that money cannot buy, like your health. Like I would rather take my health over having $1 million in my bank account because th- it's worth everything. So I think if you reframe it, and I love what you said about, there's people that think, oh, when I have this, I'll be happy. When I have that, I'll be happy. But really, if you being happy, a quote I have is the true, and I think it was Gary Vee or something, but like the true measure of success is how happy you are in your life. Like, do you wake up every day grateful and happy, or are you waking up every day miserable because you don't think you have enough? And it's like the law of attraction. If you wake up in a lack mentality, you're going to just have more lack. If you wake up grateful or write down 3 things you're grateful for every day, you're going to attract more abundance into your life. So I think it's all a mentality. And I agree with what you're saying about the comparisons on Instagram. There are a lot of people that will like leech off of people that have that victim mentality of like, oh, I'm never going to make it, or I want to be an entrepreneur and like have millions of dollars. Like people like prey on that. Like if they see that, they will be like, here's my course. And then you get scammed. It's like, oh, if you take my course, it's, $10,000, but you're going to be making triple that or something. It's all bullshit.
That's so good. And I think if people really understood the statistic of how many of us, think about the billions of people that are on this earth, how many of us will at one point in time in our bank account have over $1 million? People are just living their lives like, I can't be happy unless I have $1 million in my bank account. It's just like, don't be fooled by Instagram. There are so many people that are renting jets or standing in front of somebody's car just so they can pose on Instagram to make it feel, it literally seems like when you go on Instagram, everybody's rich. Like everybody's rich. Everybody's rich on Instagram, really. And it leaves us in this space of, well, what I have is not good enough. And it's just like, if the statistic is so low for how many people are actually going to have millions of dollars, are we really going to live our lives as if we're failures and we didn't accomplish what we needed to accomplish if we don't have millions of dollars? Don't get trapped. And then on the flip side, I was thinking of like the whole just like perfect body phenomenon, like seeing all these like chiseled muscles and like 6-pack abs, just like the average person. Where are we going? Like what are we training for? Why do I'm just trying to make food for my family. Why do I need abs like Tiana Taylor? Like why? Like for what reason? Like most of us are just trying to be healthy and trying to be around for our kids for as long as possible. We don't need washboard abs. Like you don't, like guys out there. I don't need my husband like, I know Kristen's husband's already been like that, but
like that.
Not everybody, like that's not necessary. You know what I mean? That's not what I see the chisel and the whatever, but it's like, it's not necessary. And then it's like, what are you training for? We're not doing marathons. We're not going to the Olympics. Like relax. Yeah. It's just like good enough to make sure that you're healthy and you feel good about the skin that you're in. But it's like, it just makes you wonder, like the average person, the millions and millions of us. I know we're looking at influencers and we're looking at people that have all this money. We're looking at people that have all these perfect bodies, but it's just like, we don't need it.
Yeah, I love what you said, because it's like a narcissistic culture also. It's like all for show. It's like, look at me. Like that's what Instagram has created. It's created a bunch of narcissistic people. Like, look at how much money I have and look how beautiful I am in this filter. Like, I've stopped like really posting a lot because I don't know. There's something like, it's like addicted to looking good, and you have to prove to yourself or to other people, like I like likes. And I do it sometimes. Like when I'm feeling really down, I will post like a little cute, the other day in the mirror, I was like, "Ooh, I look good today." Because I was like,
nothing wrong with that.
I want some likes, but I did it for that, that is the thing. It's like, if you're doing it for that, you got to just look at that. Like, oh, wow, I really did that because I wanted people to see that I'm looking good today.
No. I don't think there's anything wrong with, if you're feeling cute or whatever, you need to pick me up, post a selfie. But for that to be every day in your way of life, I love doing videos. I love a good.
You're so good at them.
It's so much fun. And I follow this account and it shows you like all these new transitions. And there was like this tutorial of this guy on vacation and he's doing all these setups and da-da-da-da. I'm just like, before I go somewhere, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do some more of these. But it's just like, how much of life are you really enjoying if you're constantly like setting up your phone and before you eat, you're doing this? It's just a lot. And I feel like it's how much fun are you really having on vacation? You're just like there and editing a video instead of enjoying it. Or even like I said, before I went to Essence Festival, I had this whole notebook plan of like all the things I was going to do. And by the time I got there, I was just like enjoying the festival so much. I didn't want to stop and like try to record and do all of that. It's just like we end up missing the moment that we're in because we're trying to capture it to show up to other people. And it's just such a shame. And even like when you go to concerts now, the applause is different because everybody has their phone up. You don't even hear the roar of applause anymore because people they don't have two hands. They have one hand because everybody's recording so that they can show that they were there instead of like being in the moment and singing along and clapping and like.
Yeah, what it brings up for me is this book I read. I started to read and I didn't finish it, but it's called How to Break Up with Your Phone. And it basically like is how to break up with your phone, but like then create a new relationship, a healthy relationship with your phone. And one of the things she said was, imagine you walk down the street and everyone is shooting up. You would think that that's not normal, but she's like, you walk down the street and everyone's on their phone. It's the same like addiction. Like why does it become, I'm really glad that we grew up in an era where we didn't have phones. We were actually able to go out and play, and like you would have to wait to come home to listen to your voice messages. And it just made life like so much more simple. And I find that when I'm not on my phone, like I'm just so much more present and alive. And it's interesting. I know, on our previous episode, I talked about like my cancer scare and everything. And I actually went off social media for like 3 weeks before I found the cancer. And it was like, I wonder if because then I was like so present with me and my body, and I could really know that there was something wrong. Like, I wonder like how many of the times, like you were saying, it's like, you're so distracted because you're on the phone. It's like, what are you actually really missing in life?
That is so good. It's also with, I got like teenage boys in my house, and the screen addiction and the video games and all that is so real. And I read something somewhere, it was an article about the lack of boredom and what that does to the imagination. Like people don't get bored anymore.
Yeah.
You always have some kind of stimulation. And there are really important things in development that happen when you are bored. When you are bored, you daydream. When you are bored, you start to think of scenarios and get ideas and start to think of like what your life could be and start to like dream. That dreaming, I mean, I was a definite dreamer in school when I got bored. And that's when you start to imagine what your life could be like. Imagine like what you wanted to be when you grew up. Like your brain expands and your thought process expands. Yes. You
use the part of your
exercise.
brain. Yeah, it's so great. And I literally, as you're saying that, I'm looking at a vision board that I created, like, I don't know, maybe 6 months before I met Danny. And it's all about marriage and traveling and babies and all of that. It's like when you're so distracted and you're not bored and you're finding something to relieve that boredom all the time, you don't give yourself space to create and to daydream and to actually manifest what you actually really want. You're just wasting time thinking about, and that's the thing too, like when you're on Instagram and you're comparing and you're like, oh, I want that. I don't have that. But like you actually can have it if you just stopped looking at your phone and did something about it,
It's just doing the activities that'll actually move your life forward and not just keep you on the F. Yeah. Those Fs are designed. I saw that Netflix series. What was it called?
What?
The Social Dilemma. Did you see The Social Dilemma?
Oh, I did, yeah.
These apps are literally designed by the same people that designed slot machines. So it's like all that just to keep you there and keep you addicted. So a lot of us have to use it for our job. So it's just like, but within reason. I have a timer on my Instagram app now where I only allow myself a certain amount of time so I don't just get lost in it. We can just get lost in it and it's okay. However, just know and look at your life and look at all the things that you have. I bet you we're all living the lives that we prayed for years ago. Like you're definitely living a life you prayed for. I know that I am, even though there's always going to be more that we want to accomplish. But that does not mean that we cannot be happy with what we have right then and there. And look at the people that we are envious of in the life that we are trying to get to. It's just like, Do you really need all that? I'm never going to have a six pack like Tiana Taylor. I'm okay. And it's okay.
You want to enjoy your life too. Like imagine some people, and you also have to think about it. Like sometimes it's just genetic. Like with Danny, like he works out 1 day a week, maybe once every other week. He's just built that way. Like he eats cookies, he eats whatever the hell he wants, and his body, he just has muscles and he has abs. And I think it's just his genetic build or just the way he is built. Luckily for me, he's just built like that. But he doesn't try. Like, imagine someone that doesn't have like that predisposition, and you're working, you're starving yourself, you're not enjoying your life, you're not eating the same food you're cooking for your children. Like, why? Like, for like what you said, like, who am I trying to impress? Who cares? As long as I feel good, and I'm good with me, like, and I'm still exercising and I'm doing all that, but I'm still enjoying my life and I'm not depriving myself to try to get to some goal that's never going to happen. Like, it's just, you're harming yourself.
We have to be our own goals.
Yeah.
Everybody's healthy looks different. And just because you're like completely chiseled or have a six pack or like bone skinny, like that doesn't connote health. It doesn't connote happiness either. So it's just like, just taking a look. Don't miss out on your life trying to be or trying to compare where you are with where somebody else is, because most of the time it's not necessary, y'all.
No, and you should always just compare you with you. Like what you said before, it's like who I used to be is not who I am now. And if I just keep improving on myself and what my level of like greatness is, or whatever I think the version of myself I want to be is, you keep striving for that, then who cares what anyone else posts? I think sometimes you can get like ideas about other people's lives and you could be like, wow, I really want to create that for myself. Or I think that's a good idea. Like there's this one influencer I follow, Melissa Wood Health. She's like a Pilates instructor, but like, she was like, I'm going for like clean nails this summer. I'm not going to use any nail polish. And I was like, I think I'm going to take that on. Like, and I like my nails. Like I got them like buffed or whatever, like a shiny buff. And I'm like, this is nice for me. Like I'm going to take this on. So it's like things that are achievable that make you feel good. I think, sometimes you can, like what we do on these episodes, like we leave you little benefits, nuggets. If you want to take it, run with it, if it works for you. But I think it's like the healthy way of doing it rather than trying to be somebody else that you're not.
What you said there's something you said in there that's really important. That I had this thought previously too. You can build your own community on Instagram. We know that we follow certain people. Don't hate follow people, basically. No. Don't follow people that make you feel bad about yourself. You can follow people that, like Kristen said, inspire her. Or maybe there is somebody that is exactly your body type and they're on their own health journey. Like, be careful following somebody's health journey that their body type has nothing to do with yours. Like, it's just not attainable. I know that we like to follow that Real Mom. What's her name? I forgot.
Oh, I love her.
With the Real Mom, just the comedians on Instagram. Like there's so many people on Instagram, and then Instagram will start feeding you because you're interacting with it, you're liking it, you're commenting on it. If you come across something that makes you feel good, follow it and interact with it, because Instagram will give you more. So let's like not hate follow people anymore because that's just going to feed you more of what doesn't make you feel good. So we can start to be smarter on these apps so they're not affecting our mental well-being. It could be a good thing, but we just have to be kind of responsible for what we interact with. If you see something that makes you feel bad, block it, say you're not interested, unfollow it.
Yeah.
And they don't give you any more of it.
It's like the same as you would curate your life. Like, what we were just, we're helping Noni decorate her home. And it's like that. It's like you would only bring things into your home that leave you feeling joyful, inspire you, make you feel at home, and do the same with your Instagram. If something's not sitting right with you, like curate your Instagram to like be inspirational quotes. Like I just followed another, I love my quotes, but I just followed another thing that just like gives you little quotes that make you feel good, or people that are posting stuff with their families that give you ideas for things to do, fun things to do with your family, or ideas and tips. Like you can use it to your benefit. You don't have to invest in this like hustle culture or, comparing yourself or hate following. Like you can actually use it to your advantage and not participate in that kind of negative energy.
Listen, we're all about the positive, soft life.
I'm done with anything.
It's like
Done.
I say this is not a dress rehearsal.
Done.
We're not here for an infinite amount of time.
Nope.
So let's really be cautious of what we're spending our time on. Let's be cautious of like the goals that we have and really look like, do I need $12 million? Do I need, knowing that is probably a very small percentage, a small chance that I'll actually get that. Is that what you need? Start to really write down your goals and analyze it and really see what it is that you need. Most of the time you'll see you already got what you need, and you're just living your life. You have what you need. You're still working towards goals, but you can be happy now.
Oh my God. I just want to say you inspire me so much, because that is what you're doing. It's like you've followed your path to joy. And like, I've seen you do that, where you will like not engage with certain people, like do certain things. Like you've been on this path, and it's like your journey has been happiness and joy and curating that. And now it's like you're living your dreams. Your dreams are coming to fruition because you're like, happiness was the journey to that. Like you have that, like, and the money and the fame and all that will be a fallout of actually following your joy and following like the people around you that build you up and celebrate you. Like there's no reason why you won't win when you have people that have your back and that celebrate you. And you are that for me. Like I've seen you grow into this amazing, like even just seeing you do that fashion show that one time, I was like, that's my best friend, like speaking and doing all these amazing things. And I'm just, that's like what I aspire to be. And you're an inspiration for a lot of people. I'm sure people can look at you and see the journey of like, wow, she really just stuck to her guns about what she wanted to create. And now you have it.
Oh, well, thank you. And I acknowledge you as well. Like, it's just we're so yin and yang, like aesthetic wise, but we complement each other so well. And, there are things that you look up to me for, and there are things that I look up to you for. And we've just been growing together and growing into our dream lives. And it's just like, we're still on this journey to accomplishing all the things that we want to, but we can still sit and appreciate and be proud of what we are doing right now.
Exactly.
Episode, I don't even know, 50 something right now of this podcast that we've been talking about for years. And then, and now we're on season 3 of the podcast. So I'm just really, really, I don't know. You just have to follow your bliss, follow your purpose. Listen to our episode on superpower. If you don't know what your purpose is and what your superpower is, once you have identified that and live every decision that you do, everything you do in life lives into that purpose and that superpower, things would be clearer for you. Go back to that episode, y'all.
Yep. And you may have good days, bad days, but if you find something that inspires you, like even listening to this podcast or listening to music that inspires you or following people that inspire you or just like talking to a friend, like that's why we came back to this. Like we fell off, like life happened and a lot of things happened, but it's like doing these episodes brings us so much joy and bliss. Like we love doing them. So that's why we came back to it. Like we're not getting paid for this yet. No one's noticed us yet, but we are committed to providing benefit, and that is what will move us forward to the next level.
That's it. Living into our purpose. And
That's
that's
it.
what it is letting people realize the bigness in themselves, exactly who they are and where they are right now
Exactly.
as your BFFs. So make sure that you guys are following us, follow the both of us, follow Best Friends with Benefits. If you are listening on the podcast, please do give us a little review. If you learned something from us today, let us know. Drop a little 5-star there on the podcast review. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to catch this visual. Okay. And we'll be back. We'll be back. And if you guys please do leave your stories, leave your comments and how you kind of combat the Instagram comparison inner war that we all have to go through, and let us know what you want us to talk about. If you need any advice, we are good
So
at
good.
give us, okay?
We're like your free therapist, best
Free
friend.
therapy, free BFFs here. This is what we're here for. So hit us up if you have anything that you want us to speak on. We'd be more than happy to.
Love it.
You guys,
See you later.